The rising cost of veterinary fees. Is now owning a pet only for the wealthy?
Are you looking to learn more about natural pet health and wellness? You've come to the right place. Click the link to subscribe to Veterinary Secrets.
You're a pet parent. You likely have a dog or a cat. If you've recently gone to see a veterinarian, you probably have an idea just how much veterinary fees have risen. This has become a huge problem for thousands and thousands of people and their pets. Within the last few years, veterinary fees, they've gone up dramatically. A recent news article highlighted how some pet owners are now struggling with the rising costs of veterinary care. One example is that now that certain really common veterinary procedures, i.e. just a checkup, you going in, bringing your dog, your cat to the veterinarian, it's gone up from $50 or $60 to $120, even $150. Many people have reported prices easily doubling when they're looking at diagnostic tests, i.e. x-rays, i.e. blood work. They're seeing medication fees gone up by 100%. Then if your dog or cat is sick, ill, or injured, they're seeing an array of those different veterinary fees, from that initial exam, to treatment, to anesthesia, to surgery, hospitalization. So many of those fees, they've easily gone up, double, if not much more. One friend reported having to spend $15,000 on veterinary care to help treat their cat, which had developed complications from corticosteroids. Their cat had become a diabetic. But seriously, $15,000 treating a diabetic cat? I had another former client report to me that they had a veterinary bill in exceeding $2,500 on having a dental scale, polish, a few teeth extracted. $2,500 for a dental? But why have veterinary fees risen just so much? Well, for sure, veterinary costs have gone up. When you look at the cost of rent, when you look at cost of overhead to run a veterinary practice, when you look at the cost of salaries, diagnostic equipment, that digital x-ray, that costs a lot. To be able to do those in-house lab tests, definitely, that's expensive. More of us are so much more invested in our dogs and our cats and our pets. They're such a key part of our family. So we really are willing to spend more on our animals. There's also the simple economics of supply and demand. Right now there actually are less veterinarians. There's an increased demand for veterinary care. Increased demand, less supply. Guess what? Prices rise. In some cases, veterinary care, it's pretty big business. So it probably comes not as a surprise or a shock when you start to see more and more corporations starting to own multiple chains of veterinary clinics. They're doing it because it's profitable. When you factor in all those things, you can then see why veterinary fees have risen. Doesn't mean it's always right. I can go back to thinking about when I was in veterinary practice, which actually wasn't that long ago, just over 10 years. I would find it unfathomable to believe that just how high veterinary fees have risen. And the really unfair thing is, for many people that are struggling with being able to pay for their dogs or cats, with struggling for veterinary care, these are the same people that really benefit from having a pet. In many cases, this seems to contradict the veterinary oath. I will strive to promote animal health and welfare. I will relieve animal suffering. Do you not see a little contradiction here? So if you, as a veterinarian, you're only going to treat the dogs, the cats with people that have money, that's going to mean there's a whole bunch of animals out there that they're suffering because they don't have this, they don't have money. As you may or may not know, part of the reason why I'm no longer practicing is I resigned from my college about 10 years ago. It's a long story, I don't want to necessarily get into all of it. Basically what happened is I was publishing a regular newsletter on alternative veterinary health care. Things that I regularly talk about in the channel. Based on what I said in the newsletter, they claimed that I was guilty of unprofessional conduct and I was fined in excess of $30,000. What I don't fully understand though is how I'm deemed to be seen as such a serious threat to the profession. Essentially I'm forced to resign. Yet at the same point, you can have veterinary fees that are gone from here to here, and you're just forcing so many people to be unable to actually seek veterinary care. So they're going to have animals that are clearly suffering. They can't get appropriate treatment. You can't relieve the pain that they're in. Seems to me there's a bit of a conflict for the veterinary oath. But what do I know? There are many ethical, caring veterinarians out there who really are trying to balance the cost of running a veterinary practice, to pay their staff well, to pay themselves well, be able to repay their student loans, along with providing fair veterinary care. But I'm kind of thinking that many of these corporations that are running so many of the veterinary practices, they don't necessarily have the veterinary oath at heart. There's the problem. What am I going to do about it? First, a big part of what we're sharing on this channel are inexpensive home remedies that you can use to help your dog or cat at home. There's literally thousands of videos. If your dog or cat has a health problem, there's probably a video that covers it. And many of these remedies, they really are inexpensive. Such as honey for a dog that has kennel cough, a cat that has the flu. Or ACV, apple cider vinegar, for a dog that has recurring yeast ear infection. A vomiting cat, you can consider a really inexpensive, effective over-the-counter home remedy, Pepcid. An itchy dog with allergies, consider a relatively inexpensive antihistamine, cetirizine. There are many charities now throughout North America specifically helping people who are in need of veterinary care and they just can't afford it. So what we're going to do now, Veterinary Secrets, each month we're going to donate a portion of our sales to one of the charities that is going to support people who are in need of veterinary care and they can't afford it. And that's so much a part of the mission of Veterinary Secrets, in terms of empower you as a pet parent, potentially be able to take better care for your dog or cat at home in an affordable way. And we would be putting our money where our mouth is, in terms of we're going to be donating a portion of our sales to one of the local charities supporting people with animals in need of assistance for veterinary care. Thanks again so much for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets. Click up there to subscribe, hit the bell to sign up for notifications, and when you click that link directly in the box below, I can send you a copy of my free book.